Hi there, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2022. And just a quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you just need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can simply follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, all engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what is going on when it comes to your May? Let's start with the sun. Where is that attention, enhancement, and support going this month? Well, we've got the sun in your sign, happy birthday, through the 20th. And when we have the sun in our sign, this is where we are noticing a lot of our environment start to get souped up with a lot of upgrades and updates, whether this has to do with tools, whether it has to do with people power, whether this has to do with maybe, expansions of our own influence. Attention, enhancement, and support comes in all kinds of different forms. And the cool thing is that whenever something is in your first house, like it is for the first 3 weeks of the month, it's lifting up all areas of the rest of your chart at once. When we see attention show up here, this is where you are getting noticed by not only the people that are going to be the best connected to you, however you want to connect to them for whatever purpose, but you are also finding that there are helpful suggestions, again, that support and enhancement coming for adjustments that you can make to your work ethic, your style, or maybe how you're marketing yourself, how you are going about reaching or attaining some kind of goal. And those contributions that are coming in are essentially being donated to you. It's really important to see where we are essentially getting led, where we are getting an opportunity to be escorted to higher qualities of life throughout the course of this period. Enhancement is going to come in the form of not only contributions and gifts coming from people, but also a transformation as to the territory that you're going to be finding yourself at home in, whether it's in your social life, your personal life, on or off the job. After the 20th, we've got the sun moving on into Gemini, your second house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables. And this is a time where you are getting more value for what you give to your job, what you are providing to your field, what you're bringing to the workforce, as well as seeing an increase in the yield that you are claiming from your income avenues. The sun, bringing that attention, enhancement, and support here, is also bringing a massive transformation to your working environment, whether this has to do with, you drawing in better business, whether this is more compatible clients and customers, or maybe working with the right colleagues, the right peers, getting into the right business network, getting into the right lane as far as a current or new role is concerned. So pay attention to where the adjustments and the transformations to this environment are happening. This can also show up where a lot of substitutions to what you have been used to, or maybe even been striving for over the last couple of years, are also going to present for your benefit. Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, and that obstacle-clearing driving force, is in Pisces through the 24th of the month. And this is your 11th house of your friendships, social networking, your platonic support system, as well as your loftiest goals and personal ambitions. And with Mars here, we are seeing this massive clearing effect that is going to work. Whether it's a clearing effect that is knocking down walls between you and the attainment or accomplishment of a deeply held goal or ambition, something that you've probably strived to achieve for many, many years. The right people are showing up here as well. This is also a time with Mars where there is this removal of a lot of blocks or a lot of barriers, or maybe even the closing of distance between you and the allies and the friends and the confidants and the entourage that you want to have. Because Mars is all about making everyone stronger friends, right? We want stronger fellowship, stronger brotherhood, stronger sisterhood, and making it all the more productive at the same time. We are assembling the dream team around you Taurus people. However, with Mars in the 11th house, this can also be a time where yes, Mars, the planet that does not suffer fair weather friends or affectation or lip service or shallow or superficial anything, may drive those that are maybe fitting the shoe for that out of your life. And sometimes we may find out where certain frenemies or not necessarily close people or, again, fake friendships occur as well. So there could be some disappointments or some frustrations that arise from this, but the benefits far outweigh the challenges. And let's not forget, with Mars in the 11th house, we can also count on quite a few good hookups to happen as well through our friendship circle. After the 24th, Mars ends up in Aries, where he will be well through the end of June. And this is your 12th house of your past, privacy, the hidden zone, anything going on behind the scenes, or old matters and old stories. With Mars in the 12th house, we are cleaning your plate. This is about unburdening. This is about a big purge, a big release. And you may notice that a lot of old stories or unfinished business, old expenses, or old attachments are getting forced out of your life, whether they have to be forced to completion or they are simply getting completed without any kind of formal resolution. It may be because that is what's truly necessary. Now, this is a very liberating influence for you Taurus people, but you may find that this is not always going to sit easy with others. Not everybody feels like getting current with the now. And you may find that when it comes to eliminating or cutting cords or clearing old narratives, whether it's dealing with family members or old financial situations or whatever's going on there, not everybody is going to be as keen to cooperate or do their due diligence. However, with Mars there, the interesting thing is you don't need them to. And so you are getting backed through this, even if it may be uncomfortable at times. Venus, the planet of love, favor, popularity, and affection, is in this 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone from the 2nd of May through the 28th, so essentially the entire month. And with Venus in here, you've got this beautiful opportunity to revive some kind of old love language, passion project, or relationship era and bring it into the present. This can be a wonderful time for those of you who are in relationships right now that may feel like you would like to bring something back from your relationship past into the present, or maybe even indulge certain fantasies or desires that maybe older relationships never gave you a chance to fully explore. This is also a time where you may be noticing that you and partners, whether they are current partners or if you are maybe available to somebody new or you're not official yet or you're meeting somebody new this month, you guys are setting up sort of a private sanctuary, really going into a space where we are withdrawing from a lot of the activities or a lot of the routines that we have maintained over the course of the last year or so, and setting ourselves up for a completely different future by focusing on our own inner world. This is also a time with Venus where a lot of old gifts and a lot of old prospects or a lot of old gestures of affection or old favors that were put on the table for you in the past, whether it has to do with your personal life, your business life, your family life, your social life, are also getting put back in front of you. Maybe you left them on the table, maybe you couldn't pick them up at the time, but a lot of old gifts, right, favor and popularity are also going to be coming back around to see if you're ready to receive them now. Mercury, the planet of communications, haste, speed, productivity, is in Gemini direct through the 10th of the month, retrograde here through the 22nd of the month, from the 10th to the 22nd, and then retrograding back into your sign from the 22nd through the 3rd of June. So Mercury is doing a lot of stuff in May. So let's break it down one at a time so we don't get confused. From the 1st to the 10th of the month, with Mercury direct in your 2nd house, we are speeding up the rate with which you acquire wealth and speeding up the rate with which you grow when it comes to that earned income, values, valuables, salary, and workforce sector that is Gemini to you, right? That 2nd house. With Mercury here, you are not only going to be acquiring, a lot of money really, really fast, but it's coming in the form of very small, very easy to achieve, easy to accomplish transactions. This is also a time where you are noticing that this is stacking up very, very quickly, and you're starting to make some very fast strides when it comes to growth in your business or in your workspace that maybe you didn't know time was flying by with. However, with Mercury retrograde from the 10th through the 22nd, all of this is going to prompt a need for some serious reevaluation of a lot of maybe commitments or financial involvements that you have maintained up until this point. All of these breakthroughs and all of these cool new gigs are going to require you to undo certain things that maybe you have gotten accustomed to over the last year or two, and allow yourself to transition out of them into a much wealthier way, which can be a little confusing and a little complicated. Mercury retrograde here, however, is also bringing old financial opportunities or old financial good news back to you. You may be finding out now there's the time for you to claim some old money or claim some kind of old role or old career path that maybe you did not get a chance to fully invest in the past. But be careful with Mercury retrograde in the second house. It can be frustrating on the job because sometimes you're dealing with people that are not really very helpful. Peers, colleagues, even clients and customers that just are not doing their due diligence, that are not following through, not staying up to, the communication standards, not communicating very well at all. Sometimes you have people being very vague, or you may even have some revelations about some people not being as smart or as experienced or as talented as their resume or their boasts may have led you to believe. We've got to undo some of those things as well, but you'll get through it. After the 22nd, Mercury returns to your sign through the 3rd of June when, he'll go direct. Mercury retrograde in your sign is a time of undos and an opportunity for some undo buttons that you yourself would like to push. It's very easy. It's not as difficult as Mercury retrograde in the second house, but what you want to make sure you understand is that if there are things that you do need to undo that you did once upon a time, and we could be talking about years ago, things that you wish you could finally unravel, liquidate, or repurpose, gonna want to make sure you give yourself a chance to do that, because we may be finding out with Mercury retrograde in the first house that there are certain paths that we may have taken on once upon a time that, while we know they don't serve anymore, are still kind of in play, still running our life, still having an influence over us. And we may need to undo certain things that we agreed or certain things that we initiated, that we started, in order to repurpose, right, and reinvest the right way in ourselves and our social lives and our personal lives and our home life, however we want to do it. Jupiter, the planet of wealth, expansion, novelty, and luck, is making a big move this month as well. Jupiter is moving on into Aries on the 10th, that 12th house of your past, privacy, hidden zone, old narratives, old stories, anything going on behind the scenes. And with Jupiter in the 12th house, you're going to be in for a lot of very pleasant surprises. Jupiter's going to be here from May 10th through October 28th. Now, a lot of exoteric newbie astrology says Jupiter in the 12th house just basically means Jupiter goes to sleep and nothing happens at all. I spit on those people. When Jupiter is in the 12th house, it is a time where you are noticing old and hidden money. Old and hidden wealth opportunities are coming back to you, as well as you getting a chance to successfully monetize a creative or business project that you have not actually brought into the light of day between the 10th of this month and the 28th of October, or at least you will get your start during this time. And if it does not come full fruition this year, don't worry, Jupiter's going to be back in here in 2023 as well. This is also a time where Jupiter is expanding what has been kept kept small to its own detriment. And so if you have been dealing with issues where growth is not occurring where you want it to happen, whether it has to do with your family life, whether it has to do with your home, or it has to do with, again, a financial prospect. Jupiter does tend to focus on money. We are going to see this getting cured and getting fixed. And we are also seeing a life cycle shift and resurrection going on over the course of this few months, with a 12 and 24-year goal and cycle resurrection going on here as well. So old money, old resources, and thematic opportunities or old themes of 12 and 24 years ago are coming back on the table and setting you up for a type of success that you may have had teased 12 or 24 years ago, but now you're getting a chance to claim it and get onto that life path the way you want to. And that's how you do Jupiter in the 12th house. We have a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 16th, which is a very strong full moon, right? We're talking about culminations, transitions, and endings, and a full moon lunar eclipse in your 7th house of partnerships. Closest one-on-one commitments. That's your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all your closest one-on-one involvements. And from May 16th through August, because again, we're talking about an eclipse, so it's a super full moon lunar eclipse here, you're going to notice a life path shift going on with a close one-on-one connection where you and maybe a romantic partner, a business partner, a spouse are going to be changing roads, orienting yourselves towards a completely different future. This could be a huge break, especially if you and, say, a romantic partner have been entertaining ideas of a big move or change of family dynamics, or maybe even going into a space where we would like to change status. For those of you that are looking to maybe change your status or your title in a romantic partnership, this full moon lunar eclipse is creating a major culmination, transition, and ending to make that so. And this is also a time where you may be noticing a big launch in business partnerships getting underway as a lot of old business is cleared out. A full moon lunar eclipse in the 7th is also going to put a lot of you off a timeline, a deadline, or some kind of 5-year plan or 2-year plan that you may have been engaged in with a partnership of some kind. However, this is because you're getting saved from a dead end or a lifestyle or a timeline that actually would not have served you, and you're getting moved and merged onto something far superior. We have a new moon to wrap up the month as well, a new moon in Gemini, that 2nd house of earned income, employment, your values and your valuables. And we're talking about seed planting going on here, new beginnings and initiations. And between the 30th of May and the 14th, 15th of June, depending on where you live in the world, you're getting a new opportunity to score some kind of new source of revenue, a new income avenue. For some of you, this may, yes, be a new job or a new line of work or a new role, but for some of you, this could even be something that is self-generated or coming to you as a gift on the job or through your workforce. So that is what I've got for you, Taurus people. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.